All right, well, let's get started. Let's see here. Christmas in July. I tell you what, why don't we start with the Serger project? Let's do a Serger project. This will be fun. Okay, so we've got this cute little jacket, and we used a flat lock wave stitch. So if you've been to an event at Be Sewing where they brought in like an educator, you may have seen this stitch, but it's one that's not on your threading guide. So I'm gonna pass it around. We used a 12 weight thread for the wave part, and then if you notice on the inside, you just got ladder stitching. So some of you may not know, so I'll just tell you, a flat lock stitch is where you serge two pieces together, and then when you pull them apart, they're butted up against each other. So they'll use it in sportswear or, clothing where people don't want, or decorative purposes, or just people that have sensory issues and don't want, seams rubbing up against them. So we're going to do this one. Do you want to pull up the threading guide?
Do you have it?
It's on that July folder on the desktop. All right. So all of the metallic thread is on sale in the store, and then all of the 12 weight thread is on sale. So we have some over there, like in a little glass bin, but it's on the other side of the books over there, and there are some pretty 12 weight threads, and it makes them around $4.70 a spool. So check those out because
Can you see okay with the light off?
oh, I can. I'm gonna unthread this. All right, so
Yeah.
do what? Oh, yes, yes. You are welcome to take a picture of this. I am gonna get with Kaylin and make sure that she sends it out to our members. So this is the 3-thread flat lock wave. The blue thread is your lower looper and it's normal. And the yellow thread, that's normally where your upper looper would be, but look where it goes in the thread path. Like, do you guys see where it goes? To the needle. So the position on the thread stand and the tension disc that it goes in, the needle thread and the upper looper are kind of switched. All right, I'm going to thread it here, and so we'll go over it. But that's the big difference. And do you see how the threads cross over right there where the upper looper and the needle thread, the green and the yellow, cross over? All right, so let's talk more about that. The document that I'm going to give to Dee to send out, there's also an explanation because sometimes it's helpful to have words, right? So when you get in front of your own serger, you've got that. So we'll make sure that we get that to you guys. But here, let's do this demo. Okay. So this will work with any serger that has the wave stitch. We're going to be doing this on the Acclaim. Is there anybody that doesn't have a serger in here? All right, everybody has a serger. You don't have a serger, okay.
I used to, but I didn't use it, so I got rid of it.
How to use it.
You all keep convincing me of why I shouldn't have done that.
I know. Okay, well, then we will just show you everything on this. Okay, so this has the air threading, and this one is really nice. The Acclaim is one of my favorite ones because if you just want a serger and you don't want all the other all the other cover stitch features, if you just want a serger, this one has lots of bells and whistles because it has the same needle threader as the Triumph. So it has that air threader. So we'll show you guys that. All right, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put it into threading mode. And then I'm going to turn the hand wheel towards me so that the tubes engage. All right. We got to set it to wave. So put that up there. I'm using the O2 needle or the right needle. My length is between 1 and 2. My width is going to be set to M for Marrow. And my letter is on D. Okay? And so all that's in the threading guide. We've got that. I'm going to do the lower looper first, just because there's nothing different about it. So it goes to that first disc behind the little metal tension part. I'm going to raise this up so that I don't have to fight the tension of the machine. All right, we got that. I'm going to do the upper looper next, and the upper looper is sitting where the needle thread normally would be sitting. So I've got it up here through the top thing, and then I'm going to put it right here in the third tension disc behind this little metal part, and then we're going to okay, I'm see muscle memory, right guys? I mean, I just want to go across here. This is the upper looper, so it's got to go in here. All right, here we go. Do you guys ever do that? We like thread this so often that, you know, my hand just wants to go this way. Okay, so we've got that threaded. It's not in the needle. It's down here in the upper looper. Okay, so now here's my needle thread, which is sitting where the upper looper is, and it goes in the second little thread slot. Put it there, and here's where it's going to cross over and get in front, and then it just goes on all these tension around all the areas that it normally goes through. All right, we're going to pull down the needle threader, and I'm going to cut it so that little end is kind of off. All right, I think I made it worse. You know how you try to cut the little jaggedy ends off? All right, here we go. There we go. I love this needle threader. All right. That's it. We are ready to go. All right. I'm going to put it back into serging and shut it up. And then I'm going to get a piece of fabric. And you really do need to use a 12 weight thread. So your decorative threads are going to go in your upper and lower looper, and you're going to have regular serger thread in your needle. And we're going to butt our fabrics together, wrong sides together. I'm going to leave the blade, the cutting blade up, and I'm going to use that to line up my fabric. I'm not going to cut any of the fabric. If I do cut the fabric, it'll be okay because it'll be covered with stitches. You don't want to cut your fabric all the way down because when you open it, you won't have anything to, you know, like it needs some extra space. So if you cut it all the way on the edge of the fabric, you don't have any extra space. But we're leaving it up so that we can just have a guide. All right, here we go. All right. If you have a subscription to For the Love of Knowledge, there's a really fun little Flatlock Wave zipper bag. So you guys should go check that out. If you're logged in and you type in on the Babylock website Flatlock Wave and you go to the classes, there's a little video and one of the educators will walk you through how to set up this stitch and make a little zipper bag. All right, so here's what it looks like on the front. Very pretty. On the back is mostly the needle thread. All right, but then to make this happen, you have to pull it apart. Oops, and that's where it wasn't even touching at all. That's user error. That never happens to y'all, right? Okay. All right, but there, look at that beautiful decorative seam. And then on the back, we've just got that. And I'll pass this around so you can see. I did play around with just some machine embroidery thread that I had that was metallic because we're featuring metallic thread, but it's really not heavy enough. So I wouldn't use that because but it's interesting to see the difference between the two. So there you go. That's a really easy stitch to do. You can, like I said, you can do zipper bags, you can use it on garments. Anything. You could do a pillow. There's lots of little uses for that. Isn't that little jacket so cute? We're not selling that pattern. We did put that, clip the little pattern on there so you guys could see what it is in case somebody wanted to make it. That is an upcycled item from Goodwill.
I think it's an upcycled tablecloth, Christmas tablecloth.
I love that. It's so cute. I love how it looks on the mannequin. It looks so different on an actual body. All right. Questions about this? All right. Well, you guys are just too easy. All right. Let's put the.
Is it claim a 4th thread or an 8th thread?
It's a 4. It is only a. It's only. Only does the overlock and flat lock.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know it did the wave.
It does. I'm telling you, it has lots of little bells and whistles. It's a nice one. We sell a lot of these. When I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in a show or something and someone comes up and they want to see a serger, and we kind of talk about what kind of things they sew. If they're only overlocking, I'm like, let me show you my favorite machine, and this is the one I show them, because you get lots of bells and whistles, and then you save some money not having to, get everything that's on the Triumph. Okay, there's the little jacket. Does anybody need me to put that back up here so that you can get a picture of it? Otherwise, we'll send it to you. You guys are good? All right, it's not on your threading guide. If you need more information, you can get that from Dee. All right, Dee, why don't we do the jacket next? We're in a garment mode today. All right, so Dee's gonna hold this jacket. So this is another upcycled project. So this is a bedspread from Goodwill that we fussy cut, and it had some stains and stuff, but we fussy cut and used the areas that were nice and turned it into this jacket. So this will be a great gift idea. So you can do a whole fabric and just turn it into a jacket. A lot of you guys have long arms. You could make your own fabric. I mean, isn't that quilting pretty? And I mean, that's just, something that's upcycled. So quilts that just can't be saved and, are falling apart, that would be a good use for them. And you can bind your inside seams as well and make it reversible. So that is a really fun option. So do we have garment sewers in here? Have you guys seen the Tamarack jacket pattern before? Okay, so it's a very popular one on social media especially. There are thousands of examples of it. So if you go to Google and you type in Tamarack jacket, you'll find lots of blogs about it. You'll find videos. People have done a lot of things. There's even a lot in the Kimberbell group. She sold the pattern, and I know that a lot of her members did stuff with the machine embroidery blocks that she used to sell. All right, so we've got this. Do we want to pass that around? We are selling this jacket pattern. It comes in 2 different sizes. We have that one that's hooked to it. That jacket is a 14. So one of the patterns is a 0 to 18. The other one is like 14 to 32. I can't remember the exact size ranges, but there's 2 different sizes. So if you have a little bit more time and you want to do something a little bit more quilty, we have another option for you. All right, let's see here. That is not what I was going to pull up. Let's pull up another example. All right. So Baby Lock used the pattern, the exact same pattern, and created this one. So when you guys get your email at the end of the month, you'll get this handout as well, this PDF, and you will have instructions on how to create the exact sizes of blocks to create this jacket. This jacket's made of flying geese and star blocks. So this is really fun. So if you're newer to quilting, or even if you've been quilting for a while, the blocks are decent sizes, so it's not like you're piecing tiny things. It gives you all of the information on how to assemble the blocks, which is very helpful. And then it talks about cutting out your pieces. So that would be a really fun version if you're looking for something that's a little bit more quilty. I know it's really warm in here, isn't it? All right. You're fine?
She's always
She's always cold. Okay. questions about the baby lock one? I've got some more to show you guys. We're not done yet. I feel like this is, but wait, there's more. Okay. So there's a ton of these. I'm going to sit down so you guys can see. I don't want to stand in front of the TV. So there is a ton of these on social media. So one blogger has created a whole bunch of gifts. When you get the pattern, it's cut, the back is cut on the fold. So she recommends making a pattern piece that's a whole piece with tissue paper so that you can fussy cut your back. So that's very clever. She even took all of her other pieces and put them on tissue paper so that she could fussy cut. And so if you don't know what fussy cut is, it's just, I'm sure most of you know what fussy cutting is. It's just where you can line up pieces where you want them. So let me show you some fun examples. I don't have instructions for these, but these are just like some of my favorite ones. Isn't this one pretty? Let me blow it up a little bit. I mean, that's very simple. The quilting is just straight line quilting too. I mean, this would be something really that anybody could do. All right, let's see here. So this one's really fun, but wait till you see the front. Do we have any strawberry shortcake girls in here? I mean, okay, yes. Yes, okay. I love strawberries. But the front has strawberries too. And the sleeves. Like this one is just such a fun one. What a great way to use scraps. So that one's really fun. This is a modern one. And again, look at the quilting. Like you don't have to have any kind of special machine. You can just do this on your standard sewing machine. It's beautiful. And I don't think I got a good picture of the sleeves, but this one also has the flying geese on the sleeves near the cuff. But I like it. So I hope that you guys will go to social media and take a look at all of the pattern, all of the ideas out there. All right, here we go. Let's see what's next. All right, why don't we, April, isn't your jelly roll thing this weekend? Okay, so this was planned so long ago. I thought this was so funny that this was our project today. I was like, oh my gosh, April's gonna laugh. Yes. Okay. Well, we'll do this one next because this has kind of been a fan favorite across our club. So we've got Santa set up over here, and we were laughing in the other classes. We've got him popcorn because it's summer and he'll be needing to fit into chimneys. So, all right. So, other than April, has anybody else made a jelly roll project? Like you have?
I actually brought one tonight. I didn't know we were doing it.
I love it. What project is it? A rug?
No, it's purse. I was inspired by one of their classes that I wanted to go to and never got to. And so I bought the pattern and did it myself.
All right. We'll see. Okay, so you got a jelly roll one? Oh, come here. Let's see it. You made that pattern? Or you just have a quilted one?
I just got my husband's sweatshirt, but
yes.
it is quilted jacket.
Oh my goodness. You guys look at it. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. It is so bold and beautiful. It's really pretty. Thank you for showing that with us. How long ago was that? Was that recently?
Probably last year.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
You'll have to wear it when it gets a little colder so we can see it. All right. Okay, well, while I have the camera pulled up, I'll just kind of pull this rug up here so we can look at some things. So I'll just kind of assume that I'm gonna talk to you guys like you've never done one of these before so that we can all get on the same page. So the jelly roll rug or a jelly roll project, because there's different projects. There's the purses. I've seen the jelly roll bowls. There's, mug rugs, placemats, kind of like what we're doing. Yeah, the pillow, that one was cute.
What are you all making this weekend?
Yeah.
It's oval rug.
A rug.
Oh, the oval shape. That'll be pretty. Okay, so April, you'll have to chime in as we're going through this, and you can help us and give us your tips.
I would not do it without that tool.
Okay, so this is the tool that you use? I was wondering. Okay, so we'll demo this tool. So for the jelly roll rug or jelly roll project, you need 2.5-inch strips, and then the first thing you have to do is you join them all together with the 45-inch seams, okay? So then once you get your long strip ready, this project has about 13. So once you have all of your strips, then you have to make tubes. So you'll need a piece of batting that's as long as your rug. I've got a smaller piece here just for the demo, but you can cut this at either 2.5 or 2 1/4. 2 1/4 is probably more popular because it's less bulk. What do you use? What do you guys use?
Roll where you order them from.
Okay, so you used both.
She doesn't cut her own. No.
Oh
I tried cutting
no.
the ones off the quilt, leftover quilt batting, and that batting is too thick.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. You
I
do
have
want
issues.
thin batting,
You want-
yes.
To me, preferably to buy already cut on a roll is the right texture and the right density.
And if you do it yourself, you have to join them with zigzags. I mean, that takes time all in itself.
Yeah, ain't happening.
The pre-cut is on sale tonight too. I think it's about $10 off, which is a pretty good thing. Okay, so we're still prepping. We haven't even gotten to making the rug yet. So you'll put your batting together and you fold it in on itself, and then you fold it again so that you have a folded, nice, clean edge and a folded in edge. And then you would take this to your sewing machine and just straight stitch. And that's, you can kind of see the straight stitch on here. That's what that is. You have to create a tube first. So you've got to do this for your entire length of your jelly roll. And I don't know if I told you this, but I started a rug during COVID. And I started this and I did a few strips and I didn't have a tool. And I'm like, nope. So I put it up. So after demoing this at Club, I'm like, I might get that rug back out. So this tool makes it a lot easier. So like April said, don't make this without the tool. So here's the tool. It's on your sheet, and we do have some back there. This is, let's see here, this is the Clover Tube Maker. It's on sale for $11.49. It's normally $16.99. All right, so let's do this tool. All right, I'm gonna do this tool. All right, it's got 4 parts. The 2 bigger parts go together and the 2 smaller parts go together. So you start and you insert your fabric into the wider end, all right, just like that. And then you take this bigger part and it just kind of fits in there, and your fabric will kind of be on each edge, just like that, and you just snap it in there, okay? And then you put your fabric in the little end. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Get it like you want it. And then this snaps in to place. And so when you go to your sewing machine, you just are constantly pulling this down and it forms your tube. And it is, you'll just use a straight stitch on your machine. Well, then once you make your tube and get that sewn, that's when you actually can start doing your rug. And you'll use a double zigzag. That's what we use. The double zigzag stitch, what that is stitch number 13 on the Baby Lock machines. And it just takes 2 stitches to make a zig and 2 stitches to make a zag. So instead of going 1 stitch and 1 stitch, it takes 2 to make a 1 zig. Yeah. And then there are instructions. You guys have a handout, and the instructions on how this is assembled and how to finish your ends and everything are all in that handout. And I didn't even pass this around. Let me pass this. All right, should we do some IQ? We should do some IQ. Okay. Yep, or a placemat, either what you want. And so we made it so that it was wide enough and tall enough for the biggest hoop of the Radiance. And we built this from scratch in IQ Designer. So if you are wanting to really learn your tools and have some fun in IQ, this is the project for you, because this is so much fun to do. We're going to build this from a circle and a square and a circle that we combine together and erase parts. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that here in just a second. But when you finish it in the embroidery machine, it's totally done. There's no sewing or anything. So you do get instructions for this, and the instructions are kind of lengthy. They're like 14 pages. So we're going to email that to you, okay? But the instructions are for IQ and for the embroidery stitching it out. IQ Designer, I think most of us have machines that are IQ Designer, but I will say IQ Designer is like light software that's built into the Baby Lock machines. So you can digitize patterns, appliques, quilt blocks, and so we'll play around with this today. It does feature some of the design suites. So I'm out of the one that it features, but last month we talked about the hat that had the bows from the Christmas collection. This has the same, some of the fills from that same Christmas collection. And so these are on sale again for 40% off. And so if you want to see what they look like, we do have a book with pictures, and you always get about 16 quilting fills and 16 motifs. And so I'll show you guys what these are again here in just a second. But let's pass this around. All right. Were there questions about the design suites? I didn't say what machine they could be used on. The design suites can be used on the Radiance, the Solaris Vision, and they're only used in IQ Designer. And then if you don't have one of those machines, then you can use Palette software, and you can make it for any machine, even non-Baby Lock. All right. All right, Dee, are we ready to make some magic? Okay, let's make some magic. So we were talking in other clubs about other things that you could use that cute little, charger plate or placemat. What about making multiple ones and putting them together and making a little table runner, or stuffing it and making it a pillow? This can be done in any version of IQ. We are going to do a few quilting things that are exclusive to either the Solaris Vision or the Radiance, but you can do this in any version of IQ Designer. Any other ideas what we could do with this cute little ornament? Door hanger would be cute.
Yeah.
Do what? Oh.
Yeah, we were saying door hanger.
Yeah?
Just
A wreath decoration, something on a
wall
wreath.
hanging of some sort.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. You do want a mouse. I'm not going to be using a mouse today, and you'll see why you want a mouse. If you don't use a mouse in IQ Designer, you want a mouse. Even your stylus, it just doesn't have as fine of a point as a mouse. So you want a mouse. All right, let's go into IQ. And we're going to build this from scratch, but let me kind of show you what we're talking about. I'm going to pull up one that I've kind of got going here. Can we see it? Yeah. Okay. All right, so ignore the bottom part. That's not ours, but here's our ornament kind of here. So what we're going to do in club today is just kind of do the outline. Once you get the outline done, you start adding some of the rounded parts to add satin stitching and to break up the shape so that you can put quilting in different places. This will take you a few minutes to sit down and do all this. So grab you a cup of coffee and get ready to jump in. You can save it and come back at any point, all right? But this will take you a little bit of time to create it, but it's fun. All right, so we're going to create the outline today. And the reason you create the outline is because you want to have a placement stitch and tack down your fabric, right? So that's why we're going to create the outline. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go into IQ. Let's go to Shapes, which is right here, and we're going to get a circle. There's the circle. And click OK. We're going to make this circle as big as you can. So I'm going to click Size, and I'm just going to enlarge it until it clicks and tells me I can't go any larger. All right. There is a square there because I've got a hoop selected. So let me go and let's make sure that the largest hoop selected. Okay, so when I click off of it, it should, okay. All right, so we've got it to 11.69 inches, and I'm going to move it to the bottom of the screen so I have more time, more space to work on my ornament. And I will caution you, don't move it like, you can go really low. It'll let you keep going, but once you click off that circle, you will have lost anything that is not on the screen. So make sure that when you lower it, you can at least see the bottom of your circle. I did that a long time ago, and that's a hard lesson to learn. Okay, I'm going to click OK. All right, so we've got that. Let's get a rounded square, and let's build the next part. So I'm going to go back to shapes. There is my rounded square, and I'm going to click OK. The instructions will tell you what size to make all these shapes. The rounded square needs to be 5 inches. So I'm going to go here to my sizing, and I'm going to type it in because we can do that. So if you have the Vision or if you have the Radiance, you have the little number pad and you can just type it in. If you don't have that, then you can use your proportional keys.
Get that to focus a little bit better.
Get it focus a little better?
It just keeps focusing in and out.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, it's selected. So I'm going to go to size and we're going to move it up. We're just going to position it. We're going to eyeball it. That looks good. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Is that about where it needs to be? We're eyeballing it. Okay. I'm going to click OK. One of the things I want you to notice, do you notice how I have all of these options over here? Because I have something selected. Once I click off of it, notice how those options are gone. It's because nothing is selected. So I did want to point that out. Let's get rid of this overlap here. So there's lots of ways that you can get rid of that overlap. I'm going to use this select tool right here. And I'll use the square select tool because all versions of IQ have this. So I'm just going to draw a square around some of the area that I want to delete, and I'm going to hit the scissor key. This just makes it easier. I can use the eraser to erase everything, but at least now I've gotten rid of most of it, and I can go in and fine tune it with the eraser. So let's zoom in. I'm going to use the pan tool and just kind of scroll over here. Let's see. There we go. All right, now I'm going to get my eraser, and I can use either a circle or a square. All right, let's blow this up a little bit. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. I'm going to get the eraser tool, and I am going to erase that. April, do you sew your, what do you sew your jelly rolls on? Do you sew that on your Radiance?
Yes.
Yeah?
And my soprano.
I was wondering, I really like the soprano too.
Yes, I take that. So it sells like charm. I do put a denim needle in there.
Yes. I like the soprano. You get a lot of bells and whistles and you don't feel like you're having to step down. I did want you guys to see this. One of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to break the shape. So I kind of broke it. I should have stopped. So I kind of broke it and I clicked undo. You don't want to break the shape. All right, I'm going to use the pan tool and I'll pan back over here to the other side. There we go. Okay, there's my eraser. All right.
So this is where you would use your mouse?
Yes. I like a little, with the Radiance, you can use really fancy mice. And so I have a little trackball and I just like to sit here and, move my thumb. I broke the shape again. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it? It's like 1 or 2 pixels here. So I'm going to click undo. All right. And this is how a mouse would be helpful. There we go. There we go. All right, let's do 100%. That's what it should look like. Now, if I wanted to test it to see if it's a whole shape, I could get my region fill bucket there. And if I fill it, in theory, if it's not broken, only the ornament should turn red, right? There we go. If it was broken, the whole screen would be red. So I'll just click undo, and we'll save it, because I like to save every step as I'm going. All right, so the next thing we gotta do is we need a little circle for up here. So are there any questions so far? How do you guys feel with using these tools? Toggling between like the eraser and the select tool, using your zoom in and panning around, is that stuff that we're comfortable with?
I like the magic wand. You touch the beginning line and then hit the magic wand or cut, and it takes off the line.
Let's show that next. Let's do that. So the magic wand is only on the Vision and the Radiance. I know it's not on all. It's not on all of the Solarises. It's only on definitely the Vision and this. So, okay, let's do that. Let's get a circle and let's put it at the top of our shape of our ornament. We're going to resize it to 4 inches. And I'm going to move it up there, and we're going to use the magic wand. I like that tool too. All right, I'm going to move it up here. All right. That's pretty good. I might move it down a little bit more. What do we think? All right, we'll stay with that. All right, I'm going to click off of it, and I got to get rid of that overlap. So I'm going to, in order to use the magic wand tool, if I use the magic wand tool right now, it's going to select like a whole shape because everything's connected. So let me kind of break up the shape with the eraser. So if I just kind of break up the shape at each one of those corners and then click OK, now I can go back down here to my select tools and get that magic wand, and I can select these big pieces and just cut them. So I love this one. And I'm going to zoom in because I see a little tiny pixel over here that I created. Okay, let's zoom out. There we go. Where is that pixel? Oh, it's teeny tiny. Well, oh, there it is. You guys, I'm way off. I'm like way down here. Oh, I didn't have my pan tool selected. There we go. There's that pixel. I'm going to try to zoom in so I can actually select it. Let's pan over. There it is. Let's get that magic wand tool and cut it. There we go. All right, now since we're over here, we would just do the same thing and just use the eraser tool. All right, I'm not going to make you guys watch me do that unless you just want to. I do want to show you the quilting. Whoops, I did break the shape. Well, so I tell you what, why don't we get some snacks, get you guys some drinks, and then when we come back, we'll do the quilting and we'll do some other projects. Does that sound good? All right, let's do that. So I've got my shape created. You're going to keep going like this. There's a lot more steps to the project. I just kind of wanted to show you how to use the basic tools. And we do want to talk about the quilting because the quilting is featured on that. So it's the Design Suite collections. You buy one of them and you plug it into your machine in the USB slot. And you open them here in IQ. If you try to open it in embroidery, it won't work. So I can open them here. This would be my motifs. And I would touch my motif screen and hit select to open it. These are all the ones that come with your machine, but if you have the Vision or if you have the Radiance and you hit custom, here's your pocket right here, and you would click this and go to your USB stick, and you would have to have it plugged in, and you would find it, touch it, and it's going to take you back to this screen, and that's where it's going to be. Do you guys remember we did that last month? Okay, so that is where the motifs are, and the quilting fills are all right here. So if you click there and then you open up your decorative fills, it's so cool to have the ability to just add endless fills into your machine. It doesn't like my finger. All right. Sometimes if your fingers are super dry, there we go. All right. I mean, these are the built-in fills, and if you don't have this on your machine, using your Christmas fabric will give your project a Christmassy feel. But if you do have this and it's an option, it's always fun to add that Christmas quilting, but it's under custom. And then again, you would go to your pocket right here and navigate on your USB stick and find it. So these are some of the ones that we've added. Yeah, I heard somebody say candy canes. So, yeah. And I'll just fill it with candy canes because I do like the candy canes. Isn't that fun? So there's all different collections. There's a couple of hobby collections, and they have both masculine and feminine hobbies. So there's woodworking and knitting and crocheting and sewing and painting. There's a geometric one. There's ones for kids. There's a sports ones. Do I have any pickleball people? The pickleball ones are my favorite. Let's see. I mean, there's celebrity collections. Sandra Shaw has a couple. One of hers has nothing but animals. So there's cute little animals. I mean, there's just anything that you're into, there's probably a design suite that's out. So, and again, if you don't have one of these machines and you have palette software, that's another way that you can make your machine do more. All right, should we do something else if there's no other questions? All right. And you know what, on break, we had another good idea. She was saying we could do 3 different sizes of the ornaments and hang them up as a little door hanger. Wouldn't that be cute? Or she said put joy, J-O-Y, or something really fun. I love those ideas. All right, I think we have one last project. So how many have done the June Taylor projects before? Okay, nobody. Okay, well, good. All right, so we have a really fun project to show you guys. So we've got 2 that are June Taylors. April, you have not done a June Taylor? Oh my goodness, I'm surprised. April's done everything. Okay. So this is a casserole carrier. So what June Taylor is you buy this batting, and the batting comes with instructions on how to cut your fabric, and one side of the batting is printed and the other side is blank, okay? So the first thing that you gotta do is you gotta pick out your fabric. Yes. Paper piece batting, there you go. It does. It does. Okay, so first thing you gotta do is you gotta pick out your fabric and cut it. So most of the ones use pre-cuts, or you can cut it with your AccuQuilt or a ruler and a rotary cutter. This one uses a charm pack or 5-inch squares and a jelly roll. Okay, and so with one charm pack and a jelly roll, you can make multiples of these. All right, so once you get your fabric cut and picked out, which that's probably the hardest part of the whole project. So the first thing you'll do is on the back, which is the solid, non-printed, you'll put a whole piece of fabric and you baste it with fabric spray in place. And then the fun starts. So if you can count, you can do this. So this one starts in the middle. So you'll put piece 1, and then you'll put piece 2 on top of it, and you'll sew a 1/4-inch seam. And the lines are placement lines. So for the machine embroidery people, that's where you would put your fabric, and then the seam is a 1/4-inch inside of it. And so after you sew your seam,
Oh, I have a question.
yeah,
Can you go back?
sure.
What foot is that?
Oh, that looks like a regular foot. Yeah, it's just the one that would, the standard foot that would come on your machine. They're using the edge of their presser foot. You can move your, so that would be another thing that you could do. Instead of using your 1/4-inch, move your needle over so that the edge of your presser foot. Yeah, you could do that, and you can even save it. You can save that. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So when you turn it on, it goes back to that setting. I don't know.
All right. So this is also called Quilt As You Go, and the reason it's called that is because as you sew your seams, the back is nice and quilted, okay? So we'll pass this around. I will say that the morning gave us some good ideas. Let's see here, some fun ways that you can personalize this. This is personalized enough, but wouldn't it be fun to add a little custom carrier, a little piece, a padded wrap. That's the word I'm looking for. You could embroider a name on it, put a little snap on it. You could also embroider on these straps. You could use pretty Tula straps. The instructions tell you how to make fabric straps. So you have lots of options on how to really personalize this and make it your own. Someone in the morning group said that they like to use fabric loops on this to tie it together. You could add Velcro. Yes. So there's just so many fun ways that you could do this. So there's that one. The other one that we're featuring today is the Christmas stocking. Both of these are on sale.
Is it the Christmas stocking made the same way?
It is. Let's see here. I was trying to find a price sheet, but they are on your handout. Any June Taylor project is on sale. Any June Taylor project is 35% off, and the prices are specifically on there. Do we see them?
$13.49 for the Castro Carrier, $8.99 for the.
There we go. Okay, so let's see.
It's fine.
There we go. All right, so you get 2 of the stockings, and you will piece each one separately. So the front and the back, each have a backing. So when you finish the stocking, it does have raw edges. So if you make up one of the June Taylor bags, they do have raw edges, but there's ways you can handle that. You can serge it. There you go. I see your point to the serge. You can serge it. You could put your binding on the wrong side, make that pretty. You could do French seams. You could put ribbon over it. There are so many ways. Oh my goodness. You could do your seams on the wrong side and do chenille it. Wouldn't that be pretty?
Oh, that wavy thing.
Yes. The wave stitch, especially up here. The wave stitch would be pretty on the outside too. You're right. That would be pretty.
Does the wave stitch work if you're not going to flatten it out?
There's different waves.
Okay.
So that one was a flat lock. But yeah, you can do waves like, yes, absolutely. Okay.
Serge your pearls.
Yep. You and your pearls. You're going to have to bring it now with pearls. So the morning group gave me a really good idea I didn't think about. You could actually get 2 stockings from this because one side is going to face your mantle anyway. So why not use, the other? So that's a great idea, right? So we'll pass that around. There's a little sheet if you guys want that. All right. It is very fun, and they are owned by AccuQuilt. So a lot of them are. There's a lot of AccuQuilt videos where they've made the June Taylor. Yes, I wanted to find the stocking on here so you could see it too. So we did just do binding last month when we're talking about the bag, and so we did have binding on the topic this month as well, for binding around a curve. So I did want to point out, you can look at that one, you can tell that they use pre-store-bought binding. Oh, here, thanks. Which that's an option, like it's an easy option, store-bought binding. We talked last week a little bit about sizes last month. I like to use 2 1/4. You could use 2 1/2. If you use 2 1/4, you get a little bit of a tighter binding. Either way it works. If you're gonna go around a curve, it needs to be cut bias, right? Yes.
Except when you're in a hurry.
I meant do what?
Except when you're in a hurry.
Oh, except when you're in a hurry. Okay. Sometimes you can get away with it, but if it's a really curvy one, yes. Okay. So I tell you what, I've already got one over here going, and so I'll just kind of talk about it. So we have this really cool sole that did not come with the machine, and I didn't even know it existed until this month. So this is really exciting. Have you guys ever seen the 1/4-inch sole for the digital dual feed foot? All right, you have? Okay, I guess I don't know where I've been, but this is really cool. So.
Can you put it under the camera so we can see it?
No. Yeah, we'll put it on the camera so you can see it. So. Let's see. It didn't come with your machine, so you don't have it. So it has the little.
It comes, you can buy the 1/4-inch, you can buy the stitch in the ditch.
Yep.
Those are 2 extra ones that you can buy.
Because your machine came with your regular one, it came with your couching one, your yarn couching one. Yep. But I love this. And especially being a bag maker, I use my 1/4 inch foot all the time, and I use this digital dual feed foot all the time for binding. So the marriage of them together is.
So what does that do for me? It gives you the 1/4 inch, is that what it's doing?
Yes, it gives you a little bar to put your fabric up against. So here, let's put this under here so we can. Yes, a guide. So let's see here. Let's plug it in. So the digital dual feed foot is on sale. Yeah, there it is. It is like a walking foot. So it's on a lot of the machines. It's on the Chorus, it's on the Solaris. All right. So let's put this on here. Let's thread the machine. And let's do this. Hey, would you plug in the iron while I'm talking? Could you plug that in? And then we'll just do this real quick. All right. All right. So I've actually already got this one sewn, but I will show you how this kind of works. So there's a little bar right here, and you just put your fabric right there against it. And I don't even have a foot plugged in. Okay, here we go. There we go. Let's make it go a little faster. Okay. And you have a nice little, and I should have backstitched, but you just have a nice little thing to line your fabric up with. Okay? I love that. All right, so I've got my 2 1/4 inch strip on there, and did we talk about glue basting last time? I think I always tell you guys.
Yeah, we talked about gluing it.
Yes.
Was it last month or month before?
Oh, the basting glue?
Yes. Have you?
Not
So.
that specific one, because she had glue. I think you had grandma's glue.
Yeah, the store sells this. This is the Roxanne's glue. So it's just really nice, and it has a nice little tip too. So I brought it to use. So
Did you get that tip cleared out earlier?
I did. I cleared it out. All right. So if I hadn't done this on a curve, I'd have a lot of tucks because you just need that stretch going around the curve. So here we go. We've already got a part here that I've started gluing down. You can use binder clips, or you can use an iron to dry it. But I started on the wrong side of my project, and this is the right side. And so just put a little glue down, and you've got a nice little line right here, and you just lay your fabric just slightly over that line or right at it. And I don't know if this is totally heated up yet, but the iron will just dry that glue. And you will have a nice even seam on both sides that's really tight. Now this isn't permanent. You do have to go and you have to top stitch along that fold. And again, you can just use your regular.
Does that glue wash out?
It does. It's water soluble. You can just use your regular foot on a digital dual feed foot and just stitch right along that edge. And I will say that the glue adheres better to fabric than it does to foam. So that's one of the reasons why I'm just having to put a little extra. But yeah. Yeah, it's not permanent. You are going to have to top stitch. And the good thing about starting on the back and ending in the front is it'll look really pretty on the front because you can get right along the edge of that fold. And if you happen on the back, if you happen to not catch every little part, it's okay because that's sewn down. So this is a really nice way to get your binding nice and even. All right.
By any bags, doing this makes a huge difference on all those curved bindings. If you
Glue
put
base.
the glue and the iron on there, it flattens them out
fighting.
Praise trying to get around those little tiny curves.
I'm glad. So you use the glue basting too. Yeah,
I used to. I found out the hard way that it's a lot easier.
it is because you're not fighting it. If you don't use the iron to dry the glue, then definitely use clips. Don't sew through wet glue. And do you guys have this iron? So I learned this. It has, so depending on where your station is, like how you like to iron, you may want the cord on the other side. I just discovered that you can pop these little covers off and unscrew this and move your cord to the other side. How cool is that? Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but that's kind of cool because like right now the cord's kind of in my way where it is. So depending on where your ironing station is. So we promise not to do binding again next month. We've covered it 2 months in a row. I think you guys have binding, right? So this is it's called Roxanne's. Roxanne's. I don't know if you can even really see that. Let's see that behind. Yeah, we do have it. We do have it in our system, and so yeah.
Does it last a long time?
It does.
Get all hard and wrapped?
If it does get hard, you've got this like little needle, and you can just stick a needle in it, and it'll just clear it right out. So I do like that. All right. We've already done some show and tell, but it's time for our favorite part of show and tell. And you know what? I did want to show you guys this. Do you guys have a lot of these little boxes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot of these and I collect them. I found these the other day in the store, and you might know that these exist. Did you guys know that they have little inserts? So, mine kind of gets to be a mess. How fun is that? You can get like a little insert for it. Isn't that cool? So they have these on the wall. If anybody would like this one, you sure can have it. I was thinking about taking this little pink one home. And of course, now you guys are watching me. Look away. Talk amongst yourselves. I shouldn't have. There we go. Okay. It's just got all these cute little. Yes. I love it. I love it. And I don't know. Have you guys seen the little glittery binding tool? We're doing binding, so Dee and I were like, we got to grab this. Isn't that cute? It's just so you can wrap your binding around it. Just so, every girl needs a little something extra, right?
So it doesn't get all twisty like
So you're not
talking
walking
about
on it,
April.
you know?
Yeah. Or if you have pretty binding left over, you can put it up on a shelf and it's all, So, all right, we're ready for show and tell. I know I am.